Thank you for your interest in Full Potential Learning Academy. My name is Sola, one of the tutors here at FPLA, and today I am going to teach you how to log in and how to use our online platform. Let's get started. At FPLA, we would recommend for you to use either a laptop or a desktop computer in order to access our online platform. We do not recommend for you to use a tablet, an iPad, or a cell phone. In addition, we would recommend for you to use either Google Chrome, the latest version of Safari, or Firefox as a designated browser. Now it's time to log into the Full Potential portal. You can start by going to fullpotentialtutor.com and clicking the link in the top right that says User Login. If you have not signed up yet, you will click Sign Up here. You will fill out all of the necessary information and click Next. Then you will receive an email with a username and password. You can use that username and password to sign in and see the dashboard and your tutors. So now let's say I'm going to sign in into my account. I have all my credentials here. I'm going to click Login and I'm taken to the dashboard. Dashboard is where you're able to access any homework that is assigned to your student. Okay, so you will be able to access all of the necessary subjects and material here on your dashboard. You will also be able to click Class. Class is where you'll be able to see all of the upcoming classes for your student. For example, I have a demo session scheduled for right now. So I'm going to click this arrow that says Join and click OK. And now this will open the virtual classroom. Obviously, you cannot see me right now, so I'm going to give access to myself to enable the camera. Okay, and your tutor will be allowed to give you access as a alumnus to all of the tools that are available for this program. So for example, a student will be able to see teacher tools, the video, the volume, screen sharing, tools on their attendee list, and this tutor will give them all of the access for all of those tools. So I just turned on my video camera, and now I'm going to teach you how this platform works. So off the bat, we see that we have a whiteboard. We see something down here that has expand. So this is our toolbox, and this has a bunch of different tools that we'll be able to use, and we will discuss these individually now. We also have some they're called teardrops, and this is to change your color of your pen, and some other tools up here that we will also discuss. But first, let's start with drawing. So your student will be able to know how to draw on the screen. So for example, if I wanted to draw a line like this, the student will also be able to have access to draw a line. Most of the time, students want to change their colors, so I will change my color. And how you would do that, you would click where it says stroke color, and you can click whichever color of your choosing. So I'll just choose this one. You're also able to change the stroke size or the font size from 1 through 15. So I would choose, let's say, 10 for now, and you can see the difference between this line that I drew right here in color and thickness compared to this line. Okay, so let's say that I just would like to erase this. We can go to this our little toolbox here, and we can click the eraser tool. So now the eraser tool, the size of the eraser is indicative based on the stroke size as well. So if I bring this down all the way to 1, I will have a very tiny little eraser. But if I decide to erase it all the way up to 15, I will have a very big eraser that will be able to erase all of this on the screen. I'll bring this back down to about 9. Now we're going to discuss the other tools that are in our toolbox. Right under the pencil tool, we have the line tool. Okay, so the line tool does exactly what you think it does. It helps you draw lines. So I'm able to draw lines. So this is particularly beneficial when you're doing geometry or you're doing some sort of math, and you need to be drawing lines or shapes. Here you could probably see a tiny little triangle, and that's because we have other functions within this tool, such as an arrow tool and an elbow connector. Again, this is probably most likely used for math, and I could even add a grid in the background here, and we can change this into a math problem. Okay, This select tool, which is the first tool here, is used to move objects. So for example, if I want to move this line, or maybe my student wrote something that is important, but I just want to move it out of the way because it's in the way of a problem, or I just want to move it to a different location, I'll be able to move the student's text from one location to another. The same thing with images. So let's say I want to add an image here or a document, I'll be able to move it and expand it or shrink it depending on how I want it to fit into the screen. So this select tool is very beneficial. Also, under the line tool, we have the cube tool. Again, this is primarily used for math. So let's say we want to draw a rectangle, or maybe we want to do a triangle and discuss, the Pythagorean theorem or angles or something along those lines. I'll be able to add all of those shapes here, and the student will be able to draw and use these and move them as they need to. So I'm going to erase this and move this back to regular paper. Also, just like the line tool, we also have this little triangle, and that's where you're able to click all of the different shapes that are available. Under that tool is what you've seen me use already, which is the paper tool. So we have a line paper, we have grid paper, and we have millimeter paper. Okay, so the tutor and the tutee will be able to pick which background they think is fit for the assignment that they're completing. We have the eraser tool. Now we have the text tool. So the text tool is very beneficial if your student prefers typing rather than drawing, or maybe an assignment requires them to type, and it's just faster to type than it is to draw. So here I'll be able to say, hi, welcome to the demo session, and now everybody will be able to see that. Okay, so this is a very beneficial tool, and I personally use it in every single one of my classes. I would prefer for my students to use it, but sometimes their handwriting is a little bit illegible, and it's just a little bit easier to use a typing tool rather than have somebody draw and take their time drawing. In addition to the text tool, we have the emoji tool, which is my personal favorite, and allows us to add emojis. So this is a very good positive reinforcement tool that I personally like to use with my students, particularly my younger students. So if they are answering your question correctly, I will let them choose the emoji that they want, and then I'll be able to reinforce that positive action with an emoji. So let's say, for example, my student did amazing with a question and I want to reinforce that, I'll be able to add this emoji, and they'll be able to collect emojis. So that's definitely one of the games that I like to do with my students, and just have them collect 20, 30, 40 emojis in one class sitting, and they're so excited that they will be able to collect all of those, and I give them the freedom to pick whichever one that they want as well. Okay, let's see, under that we have the latex tool. This is particularly useful for math. If you want to choose a formula, let's say that we're doing calculus, or we're using some Greek numbers, or whatever the case may be, we'll be able to use this tool to add any of the necessary formulas that you can't really type on your own. Okay, under that we have the Wolfram Alpha. We do not need this right now, but I personally do not use this. However, you'll be able to ask your tutor if you need to use this program, but I personally do not use this. And then under that we have the Clear All tool, which just deletes everything off the page. Okay, so that's everything with this toolbox on the left. Now we're going to discuss all the gadgets that we have up here on the top right. So we have some gadgets up here. The students will have access to all of these gadgets, I believe, minus the break room and the poll. I believe all the students have all the other gadgets minus those two. So this share screen button is extremely beneficial in sharing a screen of a different tab within the platform. So let's say that a student does not recognize something, or needs a picture shown so they can understand something, or maybe they want to share their screen for IXL. They're able to share their screen with you, or maybe the tutor wants to share something from their computer to the student from a different tab. either or. Okay, so let's say that I have a student, a kindergarten student, and she doesn't know what the color red looks like. I'm able to share my screen, and I can pick the tab that I want. So I'm going to pick the tab that says red on it, and I'll be able to show all of these pictures with the color red on it, and she'll be able to understand what I'm talking about. Okay. The next tool we have is the break room tool. We personally do not use break room. This is just a tool that we could possibly use in the future, but currently we are not using break room. Poll is used if we want to give the students a poll with questions. So this could be multiple choice and have them pick. Image tool is extremely beneficial if you want to add some images onto the screen. So the student or the tutor will be able to add an image. So let's say that, for example, I want to add a picture of a demo. I will click the picture that I want from my files, and I'll be able to add this to the screen. Okay, and again, as I was saying before, the select tool is used to move things around. So I'm able to move this picture around, but I'm also able to increase it and shrink it as I please. So I'll be able to move this to the corner right here, add another picture, and move that to another corner. So it's a very beneficial tool. The video tool is used when the student or the tutor find an awesome video on YouTube and they want to show it to the other student or to the tutor. We will be able to add the link to the YouTube video here, and we will be able to play it simultaneously as the student and the tutor see it. Finally, we have the document tool. So the document tool is used to add documents onto the screen. So let's say that there is a student that is taking the HSBT test or is taking the SAT program and has an assignment for that day. The tutor will be able to add the documents necessary for that class and put it on the screen. And then the student will be able to access it and be able to answer all of the questions as needed. Finally, we have the tools up here. So this is for the camera, for the microphone. We also have video settings. So this is important for selecting the audio. So right now I'm speaking into my headphones. So I want to make sure that I'm clicking the button that says external microphone, which are my headphones. And that way the student will be able to hear what I'm saying. This is the same thing for the student. You want to make sure that you're using headphones, or if you're not using any headphones, that you're clicking the right audio so this tutor will be able to hear what the student is saying. Also, you would like to click the connectivity test, which is to make sure how quickly the video and audio quality are being uploaded. Okay, so sometimes if there are some Wi-Fi issues or something is not working quite right, it's most likely because of the video or audio, and we just have to make sure that the connectivity is doing well. And that's it. So if you have any, no, kidding. Finally, we have a little tiny chat box on the bottom left, and that can be used to chat between the tutor and the student, just in case if something were to go wrong, or maybe the student is not able to see the tutor or vice versa, they will be able to chat and try to resolve the problem as needed. So this is it for our demo session. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to call us or send us an email. Have an awesome day.